So the fast food chain Wendy's is closing 300 stores, and I say good. So I don't eat nearly as much fast food as I used to. My body can't process all that shit. But the one restaurant that I always felt was a little bit better, at least health-wise, was Wendy's compared to the McDonald's and the Burger King. I actually really like their spicy chicken sandwich. I know I'm gonna catch some hell on this, but I actually like it better than Chick-fil-A's. They used to have the loaded baked potato. Their chili was good, but when you put those little hot sauce packets in it, man, their chili was awesome. I love those damn packets. They had the salad bar, and they had some really cool buildings that you would go in and you felt like, you know, I belong here. You know, the customer service was good until it wasn't. And this is really what I feel is bringing down Wendy's. And if they would just listen to their customer base, maybe they wouldn't be closing down 300 stores. All right, here's what I pulled together from different news sources. Wendy's is preparing to close hundreds of its US restaurants as part of a major turnaround strategy. The company says it'll shut down locations that have been consistently underperforming in order to improve profitability and refocus on stronger stores. So how many locations? Well, Wendy's described the closures of mid-single digit percentage of its US footprints. Industry analysts estimate roughly 240 to 360 restaurants, which one investor putting the number around 300. Mid-single digit is the smart way of saying they're closing around 5 to 6% of their store locations. So the closure timeline, they're scheduled to begin around 2025 or late 2025 and will continue through 2026. This move follows company's earlier decision to close 140 locations in late 2024. Now, which specific restaurants and locations, they won't tell us yet. I guarantee the one in my Youngstown, Ohio area is going to close. It sucks. I'll explain later. Now, mid-single digit store closings, that doesn't sound like a lot, but there's an issue with Wendy's. So the number one issue, let's just talk about the elephant in the room. Your prices are freaking insane. Now, everybody's prices are insane, but Wendy's, your prices are insane. So in one article that I read, it stated that prices from 2021 to 2025 jumped 35%. And then one article that I read claimed that in one location, prices jumped 32% in a just 2-week time span. And to be fair, this isn't just Wendy's raising their prices, it's all across the board. Don't even get me started on Chipotle or Panera Bread. I paid $57 for a couple bowls of soup and a salad the other day. But yeah, that's low-hanging fruit, and prices have been absolutely insane, and Wendy's is no different. Now, number two is not specific to Wendy's. Again, it's across the board, but inconsistent food quality, soggy cold fries. The one thing that Wendy's is known for is their burgers, and they just look like an absolute train wreck coming out of the window. And again, this isn't just Wendy's, but take a look at this corporate fancy picture of one of their bacon cheeseburgers compared to the cheeseburger that you actually get at that restaurant. I think people are just fed up of all of this bullshit. And to be honest with you, I don't know why these companies are allowed to get away with this. This screams false advertisement, if you ask me. And to tell you the truth, I don't understand why, as a customer, we allow these companies to get away with it. Well, maybe we don't anymore, hence the downfall of Wendy's. And then not too long ago, I seen a couple TikTok videos of people biting into the chicken sandwiches and them being raw, which I don't even understand how they're raw, considering they're already halfway pre-cooked and then frozen and sent to the store. And that really all comes down to management. A good Wendy's is really good, and a bad Wendy's can be really, really bad. And that brings us to the freaking drive-thru, which is supposed to be fast and convenient for us, but never is anymore. So number one, I always get rude people that are working the line. I just don't understand why my Wendy's is always so bad when it comes to customer service. The lines move really slow. You place your order, you're thinking you're gonna get it quick because you gotta be back at work for lunch, or you're coming home and bringing something to the kids that are hungry and screaming at you on the other line. And it just takes forever to get your food. Fast food. And this really does come down to staffing issues and just how these people are trained that work at these companies. Rude service, untrained staff, and again, the low staffing during peak hours is really what's killing the drive-thru line at this store or restaurant. And again, don't get me wrong, it's not just Wendy's, but just in case you're wondering, I do have a video that I'm gonna put at the end of this video talking about the decline of customer service, so you might wanna check that one out after this one. But my issue with Wendy's, and the biggest one for me, is how greedy they seem to be when it comes to their sauces. I already mentioned I love their chili, but only when I get the Wendy's chili sauce packets, those little golden nuggets of goodness. Well, they used to be gold and then they changed them to black, whatever. But you have to put at least 3 to 4 of these things in the actual chili to make it taste good. If not, you're not really tasting any of that hot sauce. And they just won't give you more than 2 packets. You ask for extra, and it's like they're paying for this stuff out of their own pocket. Like other restaurants, they're okay when it comes to giving you extra sauces and packets. Wendy's is beyond stingy. It is almost like they go out of their way to give you less than what you asked for. It is really astounding to me that they just will not part with a couple extra sauces. But the biggest issue for me is the constant mess up of my order. Wendy's is a habitual order fucker-upper. It does not matter which Wendy's I go to, if I place an order, it is guaranteed 100% to be wrong when I open up my bag. If I ask for cheese, they put no cheese. If I ask for spicy nuggets, they give me regular nuggets. If I ask for a regular soda, they give me a diet soda. I don't like diet soda. I mean, it's one thing that your prices are already too high, but when you consistently jip me out of sauces and you continuously mess up my order, it just becomes a chore to go to that restaurant, where I just don't go to that restaurant anymore because I don't want to deal with the bullshit. But let's not forget about all the apps and all that stuff. We got glitchy mobile ordering, coupons not applying, rewards disappearing and changing suddenly, and picking up orders that are not ready. I don't find Wendy's food to be all that bad, but I don't find it to be all that great either. For the cost of what it costs to go out to one of their stores, I can just make something better at home. And ordering food from Wendy's has just become a chore. It's too aggravating to the point I don't even want to deal with it. The constant mess up on my orders and then fighting me with not giving me enough sauces. I just don't want to deal with it anymore, so I'll either make my own stuff or I'll just go somewhere else. Now, Wendy's, on top of everything I just talked about, there is one other bigger issue that you refuse to address, and that is you have no identity, along with a lot of these other fast food restaurants. Let me explain real quick. McDonald's, I remember as a kid, I would go into the fun room or the playroom. They had the big golden arches, and it looked like a McDonald's. It had the red roof, the yellow, whatever that was. I think they were fries. I mean, when I went to Long John Silver's, it felt like I was going into a restaurant that served fish. And when I went to Wendy's, I felt like I was going someplace that family mattered. When I walked into a Taco Bell, I knew I was in a Taco Bell. And when I went to Wendy's, it felt like they had a family atmosphere. And now all of that's gone. It's just corporate conglomerates that own these companies, and they build these buildings to have no feel, no emotion. They don't care about the customer coming in feeling warm. They just want you as a number to buy their crap and then leave. Every restaurant looks exactly the same. I could take the Arby's sign and put it on a Wendy's building and you probably wouldn't even notice. It just feels like there's no emotion behind the eyes type of deal when you look at these restaurants. And again, this isn't just a Wendy's problem. This is all of the fast food chains. However, the fast food chains have a little bit more recognition, like a McDonald's or a Burger King, than a Wendy's does. And where they're able to adjust and fix things, Wendy's might not be able to. And Wendy's might turn into one of those nostalgic places where we talk about it in the future and say, hey, do you remember when we used to have that Wendy's restaurant? And now we don't because they sucked. Anyway, I want to know what you think. If you're trying to make sense of a world that doesn't make sense anymore, get subscribed, hit the bell notification, check out this video right here. We're back. More videos soon.